Good Friday morning. I'm Jared Klein here with your morning rush at the NBC29 Digital Desk. I hope you're having a great start to your Friday. We do want to warn you first off of a traffic alert. This is a look at Interstate 64 eastbound at mile marker 103. As you can see, the camera's a little bit blurry there, but traffic is being redirected. It is being backed up here due to some sort of an issue on the roadway. So if you are traveling that way, make sure that you take your time or maybe plan a detour route. Let's take a look at the top web stories this morning you guys are clicking on. Coming in at number 1, a Gordonsville man killed in 10th and Page Street shooting, police increasing presence of officers. Coming in at number 2, end of emergency SNAP benefits worrying Delegate Hudson. And number 3, Charlottesville and apartment managers inspect a rat infestation at Greenstone on 5th. All right, well, Nicholas Pendleton of Gordonsville is the 3rd person to die from gunfire in Charlottesville this year. Police say he was found wounded at Page and 10th. Investigators believe the shooting happened on nearby Hardy Drive. Charlottesville's new police chief, Michael Koch, says his department is focusing on 3 specific areas in the city in response to the violence. He's also adding more patrols and using federal resources to try and slow down the flow of guns. Koch says his department has to be part of the community solution.
Trust that we're going to police in a way that is ethical and that is constitutional, and we're going to do just that. But again, it's going to take time.
CPD says that these strategies are underway now. They are hoping to start more community events and engagements to address the gun violence issues. Well, there is a bill now on Governor Glenn Youngkin's desk, and it would give local law enforcement the power to implement a curfew during times of civil unrest. That curfew could last for up to 24 hours. The Senate bill stems from the riots and protests following the killings of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, when many local leaders put in place curfews in response. Also on the governor's desk, another bill that targets swatting. It would toughen the penalties for those who call in false alarms to police. Such callers could be charged with a Class 1 misdemeanor, punishable by up to a year in prison. They could also be charged with a felony if anybody got hurt. Now, dozens of schools across the state have been the targets of these swatting calls in recent months, wasting both time and resources. All right, well, a Greene County man with a stupendous mustache is now achieving worldwide fame. You may have first seen Bob Baker right here on NBC29 or newspaper. Now, as Marty Hutloff shows us, Baker is trying to cash in on his already award-winning facial hair. Take a look.
It was a story shown around the world. Bob Baker, the 2-time national mustache champion from Greene County, became famous after our NBC29 story aired. It was picked up by CNN and shown on affiliates around the country.
Then the next day, I started getting messages from people in San Francisco, New Mexico, Nebraska, all around the United States, told me, I saw you on my local news.
People found Baker on social media. His TikTok following has grown to 1.4 million followers. Other media outlets and TV shows were also interested in Bob's fancy mustaches.
And of course, I was like, okay, is this really Inside Edition? And I checked the person out and we started communicating, and they wanted to do an interview right away.
The Washington Post did a story on Bob. Last week, Baker went on WGN's morning show in Chicago. Baker says he spends about 20 minutes each morning styling his mustache.
If I go out, I'm always trying to present the best me. And when I run into people who may recognize me, I want to make sure that I'm presenting a good mustache for them.
The most popular question, how do you eat and drink?
When it's not styled, I'll kind of take my fingers and push it so I'm not chewing on it. If it gets dirty, it's okay. I don't want to chew on it and break the hairs.
Bob says he still hasn't come across that big money-making opportunity.
A lot of people say I look like the Pringles guy. So if I get enough engagement and enough people tag Pringles, Pringles may reach out and say, hey, we'd like to work with you for you to do up your mustache and maybe eat some of our Pringles.
Marty Hutloff, NBC29 News.
All right, thank you, Marty, for that story. Well, patients at UVA Children's Hospital now have new teddy bears. They were donated from the Shenandoah Valley. Dairy Queen of Harrisonburg and James Madison University Athletics partnered up for the teddy bear drive. In total, they gathered around 1,000 bears for kids.
Coming to the hospital is scary in general. So giving something to a child that they can kind of just snuggle and know that they can take with them, and it's kind of a memory and makes it a positive event.
Dairy Queen of Harrisonburg has been a longtime partner of UVA Children's, and its team members say they plan to do the same teddy bear donation for at least the next 2 years. Okay, so I pulled up another look at I-64 here. This is looking westbound from the opposite way now of mile marker 103. As you can see, traffic is starting to get backed up in the eastbound lanes here a little bit as it is being diverted, excuse me. So make sure if you are traveling in that direction, you give yourself some extra time or avoid that area entirely. All right, well, it will be a bit cooler today after yesterday's big record-breaking warmth, and we'll get a reminder that it's still winter this coming weekend, at least as we start the weekend. Here's meteorologist David Rogers.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday to you. Record-breaking temperatures yesterday. We topped out at 82, breaking that old record of 78, which was just set last year. Today, we'll start the beginning of some cooler conditions. We'll see a fair amount of sunshine. There's a live look at Doppler radar. Cold front is now to our south and east. There will be a wave of low pressure to our south, and that will pull in some of the colder air and eventually bring a light wintry mix to the area early tomorrow morning. Some light sleet, freezing rain, a few snowflakes before changing over to a cold rain as we go through the day tomorrow. The good news is it's out of here by Sunday. The jet stream will lift back to the north. We get back into some sunshine and 60s. And then next week, temperatures will be above normal. We look for additional rain showers as we look ahead to Monday and then again by the end of next week. That's a quick look at your forecast for now. Have a great and safe weekend.